An AutoZone and several other industrial buildings near the mall have sustained some pretty significant damage. Power is out. I mean, it's all black behind us, so there's no power here whatsoever, and that's likely to be the situation even tomorrow morning until energy crews can get out here and give us an update. But it's not just here in West Tennessee, in Memphis. It's also been in Mississippi. It's also been in Arkansas. Ebony Monet from KTHV TV gives us an update from Atkins, Arkansas.
We're here with Captain Caldwell. He's going to give us an update of what's been going on here. We're at the command post in Polk County, right here at Atkins Fire Department. Can you tell us about the active rescue teams and what's going on out there?
At the present time, we have teams, I think we got about 16 different teams set up right now that's out checking houses from door to door and painting on the structures and stuff to verify whether there's anybody in it. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to have to go back when it gets daylight and research them again to see if, we have anybody.
Do you have any active rescue missions out right now?
We have right now. I understand we've got a team out right now that is trying to locate somebody in a house. They haven't been able to locate him, which is east of Atkins where the tornado went through down there, and I haven't heard nothing back in the last little bit to verify where they found him or not.
And I was here earlier. It was a pretty hectic scene. What's basically been going on? What do you guys
It's been a hectic scene. We've had a lot of power lines. We've got a lot of houses damaged and vehicles and stuff, and like I said, through the county because it come across the southeast part of the county, all the way from the Arkansas River clean over into Conway County, and they've got damage over in Conway County at the present time.
That is Ebony Monet reporting from Atkins, Arkansas. Tornado warnings issued once again for Crittenden County, for St. Francis County, and where we are here in Shelby County in Memphis. Multiple tornado warnings throughout the day. Let's get back to the studio and Storm Tracker Jim Cantori. Jim, what can you update us on specifically with this tornado warnings just west of the Memphis metro area?
Well, you got a heck of a line coming through, Mr. Bettis. It'll be you'll be taking cover here within the hour. I can tell you that right now. Here it is, Memphis. You can see the squall line as it's working its way to the east. Just to the north, though, there's that cell, which has moved well up to the northwestern part of the state. So that's racing on off. So basically right now we're actually dealing with the main line, and that's a good thing. We don't like the renegade cells that run out ahead of the main line, but you still may get a quick spin up even along this line. So still, as we go through the next 45 minutes or so, we're not out of the woods in Memphis area, but don't be surprised if we see winds gusting 60, 70 miles an hour here. Here's the situation in Nashville. A little bit of good news here, only in the fact that from a radar standpoint, this does not look as good. But that doesn't mean that this thing hasn't just kind of wrapped itself underneath this whole core here and is moving through Nashville as we speak. We have had reports of nickel-sized hail at Vanderbilt University. Fairview, Tennessee has seen a house collapse. There is a huge hockey game tonight at Adelphia Coliseum. And that is not good because that thing is going to move right over Adelphia Coliseum. Right now, it looks like the worst of this is just kind of moving right over the city and will continue up toward the Cumberland River as we go through the next 20 minutes or so. Again, fast moving, 50 miles an hour, just kind of spreading out, not looking as well defined, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods. Now, some of these cells here, again, in Kentucky, are starting to get a little healthy. See how we're getting, obviously, the main line coming east. As that moves east, it's definitely picking up the prevailing wind flow out of the southeast near the surface. So we're actually adding low-level shear here to some of these renegade cells, and that's causing them to spin up. So we're getting a lot of tornado warnings, some of these near the Paducah area now, and across west central Kentucky. We're in this over the next hour or so. All right, we do have a new tornado warning with a possible tornado on the ground near Nashville. We have a tornado reporting on the ground in Nashville, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. If you live in Goodlettsville and Lakewood, by 9:40 this evening, which is just about 5 minutes from now, you will be in the path of this tornado. So Nashville, there's a tornado on the ground right now in the city, moving to the northeast at 50 miles an hour. We'll be right back. Situation all night. Now it is on the local level. A tornado is moving through Nashville, Tennessee at the present time. I want to bring in our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes. Greg, we knew this was coming. Is this amazing for February to see a tornado move right through downtown Nashville?
Yeah, it certainly is. We're certainly way out of the Dixie Alley, those Gulf Coast states, in terms of unusual warmth to allow the storms to do that. Here's 10 minutes ago. We had reports of a tornado. It would be right where this appendage comes out of the main body of the storm. That's the northwest side of Nashville. Now let's update that for the most current time. and we'll see that that appendage is rolled off to the north and east. So right now the tornado circulation up around Goodlettsville, Lakewood, Hendersonville area, and it's rolling off toward the east-northeast at about 50 miles per hour. You see that storm has just flown off to the north and east, so it's basically now rolling away from the Nashville area, heading up south and east of the Hendersonville area. You see at the very end there, beginning to recycle. It's getting that hook-shape appendage wrapping up once again. These storms sometimes weaken, re-intensify. It's done that right as it's come across Nashville. Paul?
The city of Nashville. All right, Memphis, this is your second line of the night, and what we're watching for on this line itself is these little thunderstorms that are developing out ahead of the main line, or these little appendages, and sometimes these produce strong winds or even little spin-ups. So keep an eye out again around Hook Lake. Looks like that cell is moving just off to the east. And look at these new storms developing from Jackson on down. So kind of a new line, if you will. It's just starting to develop to the east of the main squall line. So you got to wonder, hey, you know what? If we haven't gotten out of the instability, we could still tap some more of it here. Look at this action here, moving from Evansville south into Kentucky. Just huge rain, not to mention the potential for some damaging winds here. Look at how these storms are getting trained, or entrained, I should say, into the main line itself, and that could mean some damaging winds as well. 50, 70 miles an hour, not out of the question with this line, possibly as high as 82 as we had earlier in Terre Haute, Indiana. All right, move from west of Tupelo, now heading up to the southeast corner of Kentucky. That is a phenomenal track for a February tornado. Absolutely astounding for this time of the year. The problem is it moved right over the city of Nashville. All right, Memphis, this is your second line of the night, and what we're watching for on this line itself is these little thunderstorms that are developing out ahead of the main line, or these little appendages, and sometimes these produce strong winds or even little spin-ups. So keep an eye out again around Hook Lake. Looks like that cell is moving just off to the east. And look at these new storms developing from Jackson on down. So kind of a new line, if you will. It's just starting to develop to the east of the main squall line. So you got to wonder, hey, you know what? If we haven't gotten out of the instability, we could still tap some more of it here. Look at this action here, moving from Evansville south into Kentucky. Just huge rain, not to mention the potential for some damaging winds here. Look at how these storms are getting trained, or entrained, I should say, into the main line itself, and that could mean some damaging winds as well. 50, 70 miles an hour, not out of the question with this line, possibly as high as 82 as we had earlier in Terre Haute, Indiana. All right, let's talk about what we may deal with overnight and also tomorrow. You'll notice the greatest threat that Dr. Forbes has outlined for us. This is his forecast, south from Cincinnati all the way down. This is through Tuesday night, so through the night tonight, and you can see it down to northern Mississippi. Right now, I mentioned Alabama now with a new tornado watch. So this new squall line is developing. Let's go back to that if we could, Wayne. This stuff in central parts of Tennessee that's east of Memphis. This new squall line that's developing may actually be the one that they've issued that watch for. The point is, we have the potential to still produce tornadoes even as we work our way through the night tonight. Paul?
All right, thanks, Jim. Well, our team coverage continues right now with meteorologist Mike Bettis. He is live from Memphis, just outside of the Hickory Ridge Mall. And, Mike, some substantial damage to that mall earlier. But as Jim just showed on the radar, this next line of thunderstorms probably about 7 or 8 miles to your east, just to the west, I should say, just west of I-55 there. What are you seeing as you look off to your west?
Yeah, I'll give you a little update. We've actually seen flashes of lightning all around us, generally cloud-to-cloud lightning. Haven't seen any cloud-to-ground lightning. Winds have really picked up in advance of that front, and just a few sprinkles. The precipitation, the main...
And it looks like perhaps some of the gusty winds affecting our live truck there. Definitely wind or even heavy rain could definitely lose some of the live shot. Do we have him back yet? Okay, let's go back to Mike Bettis. You're temporarily blocked up, probably because of rain or some wind.
Yeah, we got some pretty good winds, so that may at times kind of knock the signal off just a little bit, so I'll give you a real quick update.
And once again, we are subject to what we're covering, and that's severe weather. The gusty wind still rolling on through Memphis. We're seeing winds gusting easy at times, close to 40 miles per hour. Right now, sustained in that 15 to 25 mile per hour range as this next line is bearing down upon the Memphis area. Again, moving in from the west, moving on towards the east. These cells drifting on towards the east easily at close to freeway speed. So right now, they continue to pose still a huge threat across this area, and we still have many tornado reports that were coming in. We're talking at least 45 reports of severe weather And right now, some of those tornado reports easily numbering in the dozens. You can see stretching across Arkansas into northern Mississippi, into Tennessee, now more out of Kentucky. And it just reports in, not confirmed, reports of at least 3 more people dead in Kentucky because of a possible tornado that rolled through that area as well. So again, we're talking about the severe weather side of the storm situation, but we also haven't even scratched the surface on the winter side. And again, that's going to be affecting the upper Midwest with perhaps a foot or more snow.